What if I told you that just 6 months from now, your life could look completely different? Not by luck, not by chance, but by design. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can build in 6 months of focused, intentional effort. This isn't about grinding blindly or setting vague goals. It's about creating a strategic blueprint that reshapes your habits, mindset, and daily execution. The next 6 months can either be a blur or a breakthrough. It all depends on what you choose to do starting today. This is your wake-up call to commit, evolve, and transform. Number 1, clarity creates power. Clarity creates power because it transforms vague desires into intentional direction, turning scattered effort into focused energy. When you lack clarity, your mind becomes a battlefield of distractions, doubts, and detours, constantly pulled in every direction, yet moving nowhere. But the moment you become crystal clear on what you want and why you want it, you gain an unstoppable momentum. Think of clarity as the ignition key to your life's engine. Until you turn it, no matter how powerful the machine, it won't move. The first step in your 6-month transformation is to take full inventory of where you are now, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and to define exactly where you want to be in 6 months. Most people skip this step and chase generic goals like get rich or be happy, but vague goals produce vague results. You must get specific. What does success look like for you? What habits will you have mastered? What emotions will you feel daily? What will your relationships, finances, health, and mindset look like 6 months from now? Write it down with ruthless precision. If your future self could send you a letter, what would it say? When you define your target, you activate your brain's reticular activating system, a filter that begins to notice people, opportunities, and actions aligned with your goal. Without clarity, even the best advice won't help you because you don't know what you're aiming at. With clarity, even small steps become powerful because they are taken with purpose. Clarity also removes overwhelm. You no longer need to do everything. You only need to do what aligns with the person you are becoming. And when distractions arise, and they will, you can ask yourself, does this serve the path I've chosen? If not, it's a detour, and you move on without guilt. Clarity also sharpens your identity. You stop saying, I hope I succeed, and start saying, I am becoming a person who succeeds. When you are clear on your destination, your mindset shifts from wishful thinking to deliberate creation. And that shift is where transformation begins. You don't stumble into success. You plan it, live it, and embody it before the world even sees it. So take time today, not tomorrow, not next week, to sit with your thoughts, away from noise, and ask yourself, who do I want to be in 6 months? What matters most to me right now? What am I willing to let go of to make room for who I'm meant to become? That clarity will become your inner compass, steadying you in storms, directing you through doubt, and pulling you forward when motivation fades. Because when your vision is clear, your decisions are easy. And in a world that tries to blur your focus, the rarest and most powerful person is the one who sees clearly and acts accordingly. That person can shape not only their next 6 months, but their entire life. Be that person. Start now. Clarity isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of all success. Number 2, master your mornings. Mastering your mornings is the foundation of mastering your life, because how you begin your day determines how you navigate everything that follows. Your thoughts, your energy, your discipline, your choices. Most people wake up reacting, reaching for their phone, checking messages, getting pulled into noise before they've even had a chance to connect with themselves. But if the first thing you feed your mind is chaos, don't be surprised if your day feels chaotic. To transform your life in 6 months, you must take control of your first hour every single day and turn it into a ritual of alignment. This isn't about copying someone else's routine. It's about designing a sacred window of time that strengthens your body, sharpens your mind, calms your emotions, and awakens your purpose. Even 30 minutes of intentional practice can redirect the entire trajectory of your day. Begin with silence, whether through meditation, breath work, or simply sitting still. Give yourself space to become aware of your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Then move your body. Physical movement is not just for fitness. It clears stagnation from the mind. A walk, some stretching, or a workout releases chemicals that shift you from lethargy into flow. After that, feed your mind. Read something that inspires you, journal your intentions, or visualize your goals. The key is to remind yourself each morning of who you are becoming. This consistent mental rehearsal begins to rewire your brain to expect success. When you enter the world from a state of clarity, movement, and self-alignment, challenges lose their power to derail you. You are no longer reacting, you are creating. And that is what separates the average from the exceptional. Even if your mornings are busy, start small. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Use that time not for scrolling, but for strengthening. Over 6 months, these morning rituals become your identity. You begin to see yourself not as someone trying to be productive or focused, but as someone who already is. And that shift in self-picture spills into everything, your work, your relationships, your mindset. Mastering your mornings doesn't guarantee an easy day, but it gives you the inner power to face the day grounded, clear, and in control. When everyone else is chasing urgency, you're anchored in purpose. When others feel lost, you've already connected with your direction. That's the hidden power of a strong morning. It sets the tone, pace, and energy that carries through the rest of your hours. 6 months, a mastered morning ritual will not just improve your days, it will elevate your identity. And identity is everything. Because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So make your mornings a daily appointment with the best version of yourself. Protect that time like your life depends on it. Because the truth is, the quality of your life does. Begin your day with intention, and you will begin your life with transformation. Number 3. One focus, one discipline. One focus, one discipline. This is the rule that separates progress from paralysis in a world obsessed with doing everything, chasing everything, being everything all at once. But the truth is, divided attention creates diluted results. You can't master 10 things at the same time and expect to transform. You must choose. Choose one core area of your life to dominate in each 30-day cycle and channel your energy like a laser, not a floodlight. Whether it's your health, your mindset, your finances, or your skill set, focus on mastering one while maintaining the rest. This is not about neglecting your life. It's about knowing that excellence requires depth, and depth requires discipline. Multitasking is the enemy of mastery. Every time you switch tasks, you lose momentum, and momentum is the lifeblood of transformation. Instead, go deep. Give your full mind, body, and effort to that one area. Track it, challenge yourself, face the friction head on, and keep going until progress becomes part of your identity. Discipline is not a punishment. It is an act of love. It is the highest form of self-respect to say, this is what I said I'd do, and I'm doing it. When you keep that promise to yourself, you begin to trust yourself again. And with trust comes confidence, and with confidence comes bold action. 1 month of focused discipline can rewire your entire mindset. You stop being the person who dabbles and start becoming the person who decides. Mastering your health sharpens your mind. Improving your mindset enhances your relationships. Strengthening your finances gives you more time and space to create. So by choosing one, you unlock many, but only through discipline. And yes, it will be hard. Your old habits will whisper, do it later. Distractions will scream for attention. Doubt will try to seduce you back into comfort. But your power is in ignoring all of it and continuing forward with precision. Build systems that make discipline easier. Set boundaries, create reminders, remove temptations, and surround yourself with accountability. Discipline doesn't require motivation, it requires decision. And once that decision is made, everything becomes clear. The rest of the world may be spinning, but you are steady. Others may be busy, but you are productive. Over 6 months, if you apply this principle, one focus, one discipline, every 30 days, you look back and see 6 major areas of your life upgraded. You won't just feel accomplished, you'll feel transformed. You'll have built a mind that knows how to win, a body that knows how to act, and a heart that knows how to stay committed. So stop trying to do everything. Pick one thing, go all in, and let your discipline speak louder than your words. The future belongs to those who can focus deeply, act consistently, and stay loyal to the path when no one is watching. Be that person. That's how lasting success is built. One focused, disciplined day at a time. Number 4, track relentlessly, adjust intelligently. Track relentlessly, adjust intelligently. This is the discipline that turns dreams into data and data into transformation. Most people fail not because they lack ambition, but because they have no system to measure their progress. They set goals and hope for the best. But hope is not a strategy. Tracking is. When you commit to 6 months of focused growth, you must become a student of your own patterns. You need to know what's working, what's not, and why. Every day, every week, every month, you check in. Not to judge yourself, but to learn. You become your own strategist. Tracking isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. You write down your workouts, your habits, your moods, your income, your sleep, your focus, whatever connects to the area you're transforming. When you track, you start seeing trends that emotion alone would never show you. You might think you're doing okay, but the data tells you you've been skipping key habits 3 days a week. You might feel discouraged, but the numbers reveal steady progress. Without tracking, your brain will lie to you, either making you complacent when you're off track or hopeless when you're improving. But when you track, you get clarity, and with clarity you gain power. And it doesn't stop there. Once the data is visible, you must adjust intelligently. Tracking without adjustment is just keeping a journal. Tracking with intention is building a strategy. If a system isn't working after 10 days, tweak it. If a habit keeps failing at night, move it to the morning. If you're overcommitted, simplify. Intelligent adjustment is about making your system work for you, not forcing yourself to fit into someone else's blueprint. And here's where discipline meets compassion. You don't beat yourself up when something doesn't go as planned. You observe, adjust, and try again. That is the mindset of a winner. Winners don't need perfect plans. They need responsive systems. Over time, tracking and adjusting builds your internal GPS. You stop drifting and start navigating. You stop reacting to problems and start anticipating them. You start designing your days based on feedback, not emotion. You become more efficient, more focused, more in control. This self-accountability is rare in a world that loves shortcuts, but it is the secret weapon of sustainable success. By the end of 6 months, you'll have a blueprint that's been tested, refined, and proven by you, for you. You'll know how to set the goal, build a system, track the results, and pivot without quitting. And once you've learned to master your own metrics, no challenge will feel too big because you'll trust your process. So start now. Build a simple tracking system, a daily checklist, a weekly review, a monthly reflection. Review it like your future depends on it, because it does. And when setbacks happen, don't panic. Adjust. Progress is never a straight line. It's a series of thoughtful corrections. The key is to stay in the game with eyes wide open, actions measured, and commitment unwavering. Track relentlessly, adjust intelligently, and success will no longer be a mystery. It will be a pattern you've built. Number 5, upgrade your environment. Upgrade your environment, because no matter how strong your willpower, you are constantly being shaped by what surrounds you. Your environment is not just the space you live in. It's the people you interact with, the habits it encourages, the sounds you hear, the information you consume, the energy in the air. It is everything that either supports or sabotages your transformation. You cannot rise consistently in a space that pulls you back, to who you used to be. If you want to become someone new in the next 6 months, you must build an environment that reflects the future, not the past. Start by taking inventory of your physical space. Is it clean, organized, and inspiring? Or is it cluttered, draining, and filled with reminders of old patterns? Clear out the chaos. Remove anything that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Old clothes, outdated reminders, even objects that carry emotional weight. Replace them with symbols of growth, a vision board, a clean desk, books that fuel your mind, and reminders of your commitment. Next, evaluate your digital environment. Your phone and laptop are not just tools, they are portals that either open up possibility or waste your attention. Unfollow accounts that make you feel small, distracted, or stuck. Fill your feed with voices that challenge, uplift, and educate you. Organize your apps, silence unnecessary notifications, and create a digital space that invites discipline and clarity. Then, look at your social environment. Who do you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you or exhaust you? Do they support your evolution or feed your excuses? You don't need to cut everyone off, but you do need to prioritize time with people who reflect your future, not just your history. Even one conversation with the right person can shift your trajectory, while too much time with the wrong energy can undo days of progress. Seek mentors, join growth-minded communities, and create distance from those who drain you. Protect your peace as if your life depends on it, because it does. Lastly, consider your mental environment. The stories you tell yourself, the internal dialogue you entertain, the thoughts you nurture when no one is watching. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and limitation, you must upgrade it daily through affirmations, reflection, and exposure to new ideas. Guard your mind like sacred ground, because everything external begins internal. The truth is, success is not just about what you do, it's about what you allow. And the strongest people are often not the most disciplined, but the most intentional about what they allow into their environment. In 6 months, your environment will either be your prison or your launchpad. So don't leave it to chance. Design it. Surround yourself with triggers of growth, reminders of your goals, and energies that pull you higher. Create a space that whispers to you daily, you are becoming someone extraordinary, because when your environment reflects your vision, discipline becomes easier, clarity becomes natural, and transformation becomes inevitable. Upgrade your environment and you upgrade your destiny. Number 6. Evolve through reflection and grit. Evolve through reflection and grit, because growth isn't just about forward motion. It's about deep understanding and unshakable persistence. In your 6-month journey of transformation, you will inevitably face moments of doubt, discomfort, and delay. And it is in these very moments that your evolution truly begins. Anyone can stay motivated when everything is flowing, but true transformation comes from the ability to pause, reflect, learn, and still press forward. When the path gets muddy, reflection is your inner compass. It allows you to make sense of your progress, recognize your patterns, and reconnect with your purpose. Set aside time every week and every month to ask yourself the hard questions. What worked? What didn't? What emotions surfaced? What did I avoid? What needs to change? Without reflection, you're just repeating activity without awareness. But with it, you begin to lead your life instead of simply reacting to it. You move from autopilot to alignment, and alongside reflection, you must embrace grit. The quiet, unseen force that keeps you going when motivation has long faded. Grit is not loud, it's not flashy, it's the silent decision to keep showing up, to keep doing the small things, especially when you don't feel like it. It's the part of you that doesn't wait for perfect conditions, but creates movement in the middle of resistance. Grit says, I may not be there yet, but I won't quit until I am. And every time you push through resistance, every time you do the uncomfortable thing, stick to your habits on hard days, or keep your word when no one is watching, you build a level of self-respect and resilience that no one can take away. Evolution is not about constant speed, it's about constant return to your vision, your why, your path. There will be setbacks, plateaus, and even breakdowns, but each time you reflect instead of react, each time you learn instead of label yourself a failure, you evolve. You shed old identities, outdated beliefs, and emotional baggage that once held you back. You begin to see struggle not as punishment but as training, pressure not as pain but as preparation. And most importantly, you realize that growth is not linear, it's layered. Sometimes you'll move fast, sometimes you'll stall. But if you stay committed to learning, adapting, and enduring, you will rise. The greatest version of you will not be born from ease. It will be forged through moments where you refused to give up. So use reflection to stay aware, and use grit to stay alive inside the storm. Make both a rhythm in your 6-month plan, journal your lessons, track your mindset shifts, acknowledge your battles, and keep walking forward, one intentional step at a time. Because in the end, evolution doesn't happen overnight. It happens moment by moment, choice by choice, reflection by reflection, and act of grit by act of grit. Embrace them both, and your transformation will not only be real, it will be unshakable. So now, as you stand at the edge of this 6-month journey, remember, transformation does not require perfection, only commitment. Let clarity guide your vision. Let your morning set your tone. Let focused discipline sharpen your progress. Let consistent tracking hold you accountable. Let your environment lift you higher. And let reflection and grit be your anchor when storms arise. You will not always feel motivated, but stay loyal to the process, because even on the days you stumble, you are still becoming. Choose to act in alignment with the future version of yourself, not the habits of your past. You are not here to repeat the same cycle. You are here to evolve, to expand, to rise. Protect your time like it's sacred. Nourish your mind like it's soil. And carry your purpose like a flame that must never go out. And when doubt whispers or fear knocks, return to the quiet strength within and remember why you started. May you walk this path with courage, focus, and fierce self-respect. May each day bring you closer to the version of you who no longer questions if they can, but simply does. May your actions honor your vision, and may your efforts be guided by wisdom, strengthened by patience, and blessed by grace. As you take this journey, I pray your strength multiplies, your clarity deepens, and your life becomes the living proof that 6 months of devotion can birth a destiny far beyond imagination. Keep walking, because the path is not ahead of you, it is made by you.